Well, it looks like all the fans are agreeing. Let's check this out. I think Nerdrotic did something too.
One of the phrases that comes to mind so often when I think about modern media is, wow, we didn't realise how good we had it back then. Whether it was Terminator movies that didn't look like a bunch of angry, confused inmates from the local old folks home had escaped and gone on a gun-fueled rampage, or Star Trek shows that were more than a series of hysterical checkboxes crying and hugging each other while talking about their feelings, or in this case, the Marvel TV universe on Netflix that premiered 10 years ago. A neat little interconnected group of shows about low-level heroes and villains set loosely within the framework.
And they were all better than what we got now.
Of the MCU without being completely handcuffed to the ludicrously overblown storylines it was devolving into. In a franchise that was increasingly focused on sky beams and multiversal disasters and galaxy-hopping space aliens, these shows were about street thugs, gangsters and crime lords fighting for control of New York City. They were dark, gritty, violent,
very dark
mature,
and gritty,
and they made for a neat little counterpoint to all the bright colours and snarky humour of the mainline MCU. Yeah, they weren't all winners by any stretch. Luke Cage was pretty forgettable, and I don't think...
Yeah, it was kind of, and, what's his name, Yellow Fist? Iron Fist. Yeah, that one, I didn't even finish. Was there a second season? I didn't know I didn't finish it. I know that. Jessica Jones I kind of liked, but the best one was Daredevil.
I think many people are going to look back fondly on Iron Fist, but at its best, it delivered some of the greatest comic book TV shows we've ever gotten. And king of this particular
and Punisher
had to be Daredevil, the story of Matt Murdock, a blind lawyer advocating for
Daredevil
the
and Punisher
people of Hell's Kitchen by day, and a masked vigilante dispensing his own brutal brand of justice by night. It was great stuff, mixing complex, thought-provoking storylines with a superb cast of characters, wonderfully violent fight scenes, and played to perfection by Charlie Cox, who might as well have been born to play the character. Sorry, Ben, but hey, that Batman gig worked out okay, right? I agree.
He's still the greatest Batman, live-action Batman ever. His Batman v Superman version. Greatest Batman ever. Period! Before that, if we're talking small screen and big screen, it was Kevin Porter. Y'all should know who he is. You don't know, look him up. You didn't watch. Watch Bat in the Sun, and you'll realize he's the best on screen, all around Batman, period. Well, as far as live action goes. Let me think here. There's something else I was going to say. I liked Daredevil. I liked the original theatrical Daredevil, but I also heard about how good the director's cut was. Saw it, and I was like, oh, fans love the director's cut. The director's cut's damn good. Check it out. Trust me, with Ben Affleck, check it out.
Truly, we did not appreciate how good we had it. Well, until the dark times came in the shape of Disney Plus, and the entire Marvel lineup on Netflix was cancelled to make way for something different.
He almost tasted that. Num, eat it up. Okay, 3, 2, 1. You know I'm the hottest.
Exactly.
Honestly, I can't think of a bigger downgrade in all of entertainment. Oh wait, yes I can. Anyway, ever since then, the question everyone's been asking is, what is to be done with Daredevil? Will he get another series? Is Charlie Cox staying in the role, or are they going to recast? Well, Marvel have teased us with little cameos here and there over the years, but honestly, what we've seen has been more depressing than exciting. Like, did we really need to see him do the walk of shame after banging She-Hulk?
Look how they mess with my boy.
You know, it's so funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and what I was thinking was, if they hadn't have destroyed everything with all the DEI, ESG, woke bullish they've been injecting into everything, they could have done a funny She-Hulk series done correctly, still had him do the walk of shame, and people would have had no problem with it. But because they've destroyed everything, people will find every single thing that you have done horribly and it will be amplified amongst the fandom. And because She-Hulk was such a horrible series, that Walk of Shame looks 10 times worse.
Or barely holding his own in a fight against a tubby, deaf, one-legged woman who couldn't act if her life depended on it.
Call her Tubby. She's not Tubby, but she's got a cheeky face.
Then came the announcement we'd been simultaneously dreading and anticipating. Daredevil was finally returning to the MCU in his own brand new show, Daredevil Born Again. Great news, right?
Wrong.
Not really, because pretty soon news began leaking that the show was in deep trouble, with writing and production problems causing a series of delays as they tried to get the show back on track.
Probably the same garbage as Captain America 4, and the same garbage that has not allowed them to get the Blade script done and approved.
Finally, after 6 entire episodes had been filmed, Marvel decided it just wasn't working, pulled the plug entirely and scrapped the whole thing, which, depending on your outlook, was either the ballsiest act of self-awareness in their entire history, or a brutal admission that they didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing with this character. It's worth remembering at this point that this is the same studio who thought She-Hulk, Echo, Secret Invasion and Agatha All Along were good enough to get the green light.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you put it that way, woo!
God only knows how bad this version of Daredevil must have been for them to pull the plug on it. Anyway, with all these problems, it was beginning to look doubtful whether we'd ever get to see Matt Murdock again, and even if we did, perhaps we'd wish we hadn't. But then something kinda crazy happened. In a shocking display of common sense, Marvel hired the lead writer for Netflix's Punisher series to be the showrunner, brought in a bunch of additional writers who actually knew what they were doing, and got back to work. Which brings us at last to the trailer for Daredevil Born Again, which came out just a couple of days ago. And wow, I can't believe I'm saying this about a Marvel TV show, but this actually looks pretty good. It's got a nice, dark, serious tone with the organ music hinting at Murdoch's Catholic faith, and that alone is pretty surprising for a tediously hyper-progressive company like Disney. I say, that whole religious thing's a bit problematic, isn't it? There's a decent bit of violence and fight scenes that look like they have actual weight behind them instead of the video game cutscenes we've been force-fed for years.
I gotta check out Scarlo's reaction. She went crazy.
Echo made a kind of half-hearted move in that direction, trying for a more grounded and gritty approach to fight scenes, but never quite having the balls to commit to it. But Born Again seems to have actually made good on this potential. Give me more snapped bones, please. There's a nice appearance from the Punisher, who looks just as angry and unhinged as ever. John Bernthal's notoriously protective of this character, and he's on record as saying he'd only consider coming back if the script was good enough to justify it. So, well, here's hoping he wasn't lying. But the centrepiece of the trailer is the tense confrontation between Murdoch and Kingpin that hints at their old rivalry being rekindled again. It's actually kind of crazy to think it's been 10 years since these guys first went head to head, and yeah, the actors have definitely aged a bit since then, but I think that makes for some interesting story possibilities if it's carried through into the show. Kingpin's now the mayor of New York, and Murdoch's implied to have left his vigilante.
I like how he added that little bit. As an actor myself, I like how he added that little bit of while he's talking, he's fidgeting with his fingers. He's you can tell he's got anxiety. He's thinking. He's twitchy. He's since becoming the mayor, he's still unhinged. Got his problems. That's my best Kingpin. It's my first time ever trying it, so that's as good as it's gonna get for now.
Vigilante life behind, but how long will that really last? They're now older men that might have moved on in life but have never been quite able to let go of their pasts, and I think there's a lot you can do with that. But please, for the love of God, leave that fucking plank of wood Echo out of this one and just let Daredevil do what Daredevil does best. Stop trying to make that character happen.
By the way, the dumbest thing in the world that Disney has done with their Marvel characters is one of the dumbest things they've done is I think I was hearing that they didn't give her her original powers because certain other characters already had them. I think that's what I heard. So correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. All right. But at any rate, if I am wrong about that, this point needs to be talked about. They change these characters' powers because other characters have them. That makes no sense. Thor can fly, right? Does that mean you make it so that Captain Marvel cannot fly? No. There are several superheroes that have similar powers, like super strength, durability, okay? Enhanced speed, reflexes, right? Wolverine can heal, has a healing factor. Does that mean you take it from Daredevil? It was the stupidest thing when they changed Ms. Marvel from what she was. Just because Mr. Fantastic has something similar doesn't mean that you take it from her. Dumb!
She's not going to happen. Now, I know that trailers by their very nature are designed to sell you something that might not even exist in reality, and there's still a whole lot of ways that Marvel could fuck this one up. But at the very least, it's kindled a time.
Because remember, that guy came out, I think he was in the gaming industry. I can't remember, but there's a leaker that came out, and he was saying what they're going to start doing is they are going to hide everything woke from us. They will not show it in the trailers for video games, for TV shows, or for movies. So then when you think it's good and you already spend your money, they already got your money. You see that? I ain't falling for that no more. Okay? I mean, I already have a subscription to Disney Plus, so it is what it is. So I'll be reviewing this. Most likely I'll be reviewing it, but I'll definitely be checking it out. And I will tell y'all what's happening. You know I'm going to let you know. Okay? I already stopped watching the Skeleton Crew after I saw certain tropes and people were writing me, telling me about other stuff. I'm just like, no, I'm tired. I'm irritated to the point I'm not watching nothing. If you got some of it in it, I'm not. I'm done. I'm tired. Tired because I know what you're doing. Tired. You didn't put it in the trailers, but you put it in the show. I'm tired. All right? So, I had some more to rant about, but I can't remember what I was going to say. But at any rate, you want to know? Come over here because I'm going to tell you what's happening. And I will stop watching this if they garbage it up.
Tiny spark of hope in the cold embers of my blackened Scottish hearts. I hope that Daredevil might finally get the comeback he absolutely deserves. I hope that Marvel might finally see the potential in making mature TV shows for adult audiences instead of churning out more generic slop that appeals to no one. I hope that the MCU can start telling half-decent stories again. You've got my attention, Marvel. Just try not to fuck it up.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
See, he's trying something a little different there. Yeah, don't F it up. I'm at that point now. I'm at that point. I've always felt like I've been a completionist for a lot of my life. And I've wanted to, I'm just like the type to want to finish stuff. But now I'm like the majority of the fans. If you even hint at woken it up, I'm done. I'm just tired. I'm tired of giving you my money and my time, more importantly. So, you know what I mean? A lot of times I'm going to watch reviews for video games before I ever buy it. It ain't going to be a first night stream. It's like when Spider-Man 3 comes out for PS6 or 5 or whatever, I'm not buying it first day. Absolutely not. Okay? I'm not. I'm going to find out what's in this game because they're not getting my money. All right? And you hear me, studios? There's a whole lot of people out there, fans, that are thinking the same way I'm thinking. All right? We're just tired of it. We're tired of being preached to. We're tired of all the same tropes that have been making us eye roll. And some people, the messed up part is that some people are actually becoming conditioned to it. They're seeing it But they're like, oh, no, it was. Yeah, it's in there. Whether the whole show is or if it has elements. And, oh, no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. What it is you just want it to work so bad. You, as a fan, you want something to watch. So you're saying that these elements aren't in there or the whole show isn't, depending on how much they do in the show with woken it up, and you're just letting it go, and that's what they want. They want you to get indoctrinated like that. And sadly, it's happening. I've already seen it in the comments with several things, and it's like, wow, they don't even see it anymore. That's what they want. Your mind has been abducted, hijacked. You are now part of the Matrix, Mr. Andersons. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my thoughts on this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers. Woo! I like it. The Drinker likes it. The Rock liked it. Scarlett liked it. Everybody likes this trailer. Just hope they follow through.